Hello friends and welcome to the second episode of my vlog of speed painting Zombicide Invader. In this one we will paint the tanks. We will spend a little bit more time on these guys than on the previous ones because they are slightly bigger and they have few more details. And we also went for the green skin just to make them different from the hunters. As always, I'm starting with a black undercoat and I'm mounting the minis on the holders. Next will be the zenithal highlight applied heavily on all of the minis using an airbrush. Okay, so this is how the highlight looks like. I did a regular zenithal from the top. But then I focused on the tentacles, on the head, on the pussy, on their back. Basically the parts that I want to be more light and draw more attention. I have also painted two of the test models just to have an idea what I'm going for and to check if the scheme that I have in my head will actually work. And I quite like the result, and this is what I will do with the rest of the minis. For the next step we will use Dark Angels Green from Vallejo Game Air, and this is a very intense, very highly pigmented paint that will help us to achieve a highlighted look over the zenithal highlight just with a single coat. Now, with all of the minis painted, you can see that they really look quite well, even with a single coat. And this is all thanks to the zenithal highlight that we laid before. I was careful not to spray on the tips of the tentacles, on the head, but, you know, there was an overspray here and there, but I do not care too much about that. I'm pretty happy how I was able to control the airbrush. Just as with the hunters before, we have sprayed all of the tentacles, also the thingy on their back and their mandibles with this nice pinkish magenta purple. It creates a nice contrast against the green skin tone. I used the Warlock Purple from GW. If you oversprayed over the heads, you can still come back with the Wraithbone and do a heavy dry brush to fix any mistakes. As you can see, I did quite a lot of oversprays here and there, but I don't really care about them too much because they actually look quite natural. Now, this is the washing stage. Again, I used a mix of flesh wash and crimson for the areas around their mouth, their heads, the bases of the feeding tendrils, or how can you call these things, and then I used the violet wash and I used it on the feet of the aliens, and then on the bases of the tentacles, and a little bit more heavily on the back. On some models I have also used violet around the pussy on their back. The last thing that is left to do are the bases, and this could be actually the final result. I sprayed them in black and then the rims with Vallejo red. But I decided to go a little bit further and paint some more details on the minis. So I have darkened the eye sockets of each of the tank using a violet wash so that I can paint in bright eyes later. Yeah, now we are switching to the final details. As you can see, I have painted the eyes in a bright blue. I have also picked out the claws. I painted them in dark brown and then I did a few highlights with with lighter browns and then with some bony colors. This is the complete final result. Again, this didn't take too much time, but a bit more than the Hunters. And here you can compare the Hunter versus the tank. The pink tentacles tie them nicely together, but you can still easily distinguish between them thanks to the skin tones. Well, this is it for this episode, and do not forget to join us next time. I think I will paint some heroes next, just to have a break from this mass speed painting. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button so that you can catch the next video in the series.